Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Damn, son, that's disgusting.
What's up, everybody? This is Gary, and I'm your host for the D.A.M.N podcast. On this episode, we have Get In the Van. They're a punk rock band from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I'm super stoked to have them in. I've known them for a minute now. Stay tuned for the end of the episode because they did an unplugged version of the song Dead Giveaway that, unless you've seen them live, you've never heard this song before. It is not recorded yet, but we recorded it here at Dynamo Audio for the unplugged. Enjoy. Then we will also be putting on neon signs at the end, so stay tuned for that. Without further ado, let's get into the studio with Get In the Van. All right, so we're here today with Get In the Van.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I've been waiting to get you guys on for a couple months here now, and
Cool.
I'm pretty stoked about it.
Thanks for asking us.
We're stoked to be here.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just get right into it. How did you guys meet, and how did you start this band? What how did it come to?
Well, this band started 5 years ago in a sort of a different manifestation. Involved one other dude and sort of Mike and I in a real casual, hey, because he played music up in Staten Island, and he moved down here and started working at the A-Bag, and then became friends, and I wanted to, for my whole life wanted to be in a band, and so we were like, yeah, dude, let's get this thing going, and it was real casual. One other guy, then we got like a drummer and wrote a bunch of garbage.
We got a whole bunch of drummers.
Yeah.
That's usually what happens.
It's kind of like Spinal Tap, but no one's died.
It usually takes quite a while to get the right drummer.
Well,
we still don't have that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just won't leave.
He keeps showing up for every other practice. No one
I've been
texts him.
fired a couple of times, but I just show up and they're like, "All right."
You're here now, and that's all that matters.
Oh, a drummer who shows up is underrated. That's
That's true. Yeah,
I show up.
I've had a few that did.
So I'm already ahead of the game.
When he's not drinking in Harrisburg.
Our last show, he was throwing up.
That is true.
Up until we went on.
I got to give him that much.
That wasn't because of being drunk or anything. I was actually sick.
He's got music store connections, so it
What
behooves
show
us
was
to
that?
have him in the
that was
band.
the
Was that the
second.
Wildlife gig?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
I wanted
I had
to
the
go.
flu too that night. I was going to go, but I had the flu.
Yeah, we were both
Awful.
sick.
Yeah,
as shit.
that's what he had. And then I'm rolling up, and Mike's like, Sean's puking. We can go in 30 minutes. I was like, all right, dude, at least he's here. That's balls, man, because not everyone would.
No, we've
pull
had
that
drummers that didn't show up to practices at their own houses.
Yeah, that was pretty much the pinnacle of me being in it. Like, I'm 18 years old, and I'm going to this guy's house for practice. I'm like, he just left with his girlfriend in her car. Like, I guess that means he's done.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, these things happen.
No, but from there on, like Sean locked in after like the the cavalcade of drummers that got fired. And then Eric came on board, and then we were in a band. It was a Line. That was the name of it. And wrote a couple really good songs, I think. And then shit just got really tense and a little too serious for what we had intended to kind of undertake. And then we just vaporized. And then there was a 2 years?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
And then we were all kind of grinding away at each other for those 2 years. None of us really talked.
Me and Justin started having the same conversation that it would be fun to be in a punk rock band. And Eric and then we just got the same band back together pretty much.
Yeah. And then, Mike came up with this name, and Eric basically, is the music, kind of creator. And then...
Hell of a photographer, I might add.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Plug
I
that.
fake it pretty good.
Yeah. Me too.
EricForberger.com.
There you go.
Yeah, can we get the plug
Yeah, plug whatever you
He'll
want.
shoot your
here.
face.
You can go to getinthevanpa.bandcamp.com to hear our 5-song EP. You can download it for free if you're cheap. You can donate no money. You can put zero.
But if you do donate money, it goes directly to me.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Because he's
At
in
least
more need of it than
somebody's
any of
getting
us
it.
right now.
Yeah.
And it was
Mike's
recorded.
pay his bills fund.
It was recorded by Ben Roth at Kaleidoscope
Yeah, I was going to
Records.
say,
Yeah.
if you wanted to talk a little bit about the
Yeah.
recording process, that would be awesome.
That was probably the most fun recording I ever did. It was easy. Ben pretty much just made it fun.
Easy's always good. Stressful is not really fun.
He just gets super stoked. So like his enthusiasm for what's going on definitely seeps into you. And then we were so pumped after each take. We'd go back and listen to it, and Yeah,
we
were
played
bands.
everything live too, which I, usually never do.
Yeah, it's
But we usually record everything separately, and this time was like, you know what, we play better live anyway, so let's just be as raw as possible.
I think what it came down to is we enjoy the. We don't even play to a click, and it's. I think you can hear in the music because sometimes it goes up and down, but we're not we're not all really super technical musicians. We just have a love for the music. So I think some of our favorite albums and bands just you run through it. I like the albums you listen to because you hear the nuances and things don't sound so robotic. So we're like we just said screw it, let's try to record that way.
We can recreate the album when we play live. It's
The expectation is fulfilled.
we will meet expectations,
and
it's not overproduced or
and
mechanical.
also it was mostly just designed to be a demo. Let's get some shit recorded. Let's get it locked in so we kind of have it and have something to put out there. So we didn't spend a lot. I think max. I think between mastering and recording, I think it came to $500. We paid $100 a song to go in and just grind some stuff out for a demo. We all have our own things. He runs the bag and has kids and stuff. And Mike's busy, Sean's busy, and I'm busy doing a bunch of stuff. So we try to just get it done when we can and have fun doing it. Try not to get too serious, but we definitely want to be professional.
Drums, etc. in the house again today.
Yeah,
It's two podcasts in a row for me.
Yeah.
Go see Sean at Drums, etc. and buy
Yeah,
some
we
Come
cool
see
stuff.
me, Eric. I'll sell you a 58.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I'll give
you
a good
guys
deal.
have those?
I sell them.
Awesome.
I think
Industry
I bought
standard.
those for the bar.
Did you?
I think
Yeah. So
We had a
come
nice
see me.
plug for you last night to go see you.
Nice.
But before we really started rolling, I decided I wanted my own mic for when we play shows because I didn't want to.
Eric, if you need that 58, you should go see Sterling.
Okay, I'll go
Drums
see
etc. He's a great guy. Take care of you.
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with having your own mic.
yeah. So
Some clubs will look at you like you're nuts, but if as
Yeah.
long as it's like a 58, nobody's gonna cry about it.
Yeah.
If you hand them like a toy,
Hey, Craig's
then
got
they're
his
gonna
own
be like,
mic.
At least
What's
it's
that?
your old food in the
yeah,
mic.
yeah.
Goat Skull, man. He's got his own.
Oh
mic.
yeah, he's got that old school.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's called.
It's probably a Shure 55, like the Elvis mic.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, he rocks that.
Gear nerds. in
Yeah,
the
to
house.
change,
Just
not
kinda
to change the
mention shit.
subject, but there's this Hannibal Buress bit where he's talking about going on tour, and there's this guy that sticks a microphone in his ass, and he's like, he checked out the bands in advance, and he's like, all right, so what's up with microphone in the ass guy? Do I get another microphone, or is there some way to unass the microphone? They're like, no, microphone in the ass guy brings his own microphone.
Oh, that's cool. He's courteous.
I wonder if it's a different one every time.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Nah, he's grimy. He's bringing
That's awful.
Gigi Allen back.
So, basically, how many? Do you have a lot of? Well, all right, cut. Now, do you guys have a lot of gigs coming up, or are you just kind of schedule them as you go?
We've got one in April. Are we playing that show at the Bag in April?
We are going to open for. It's going to be Get in the Van, Mid Rats, and Scarborough, who just came out with a pretty rad album called "Here Comes a Hangover." If you haven't heard that, it's a 3-piece like hardcore rad band, yeah, I think Mid Rats are on board for that one. So that's April 1st. We're also going to do a benefit for a friend of ours, Brian Sieber. His wife's has breast cancer, so we're going to do a fundraiser at Tellus 360 with Brom Bones. I think McRad's going to play, so Chuck Treese from McRad, and then whomever else he gets to play guitar and bass. So that'd be cool.
That's April 23rd, Sunday.
Yeah, come to that one.
Sherwin.
Tellus 360.
Brown Bones, Get in the Van, and one of Matt Campbell's bands. I'm not sure which one.
Fake, maybe.
I don't know.
They're coming in next week to record with me.
Oh, killer!
So I'm excited.
And then
about
he's got some new thing going on.
Don't spoil it.
I won't. I should.
that. Who?
Well, I'll just say one of the members of Brown Bones is involved in Matt Campbell's new.
That
Side project.
Brown Bones only plays like once a year or
Yeah.
something like that.
They have to play first or second because they want to get home.
Brom
Yeah.
Bones' new album will be out soon.
Yeah.
And
I didn't even know they were working on one. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, they have enough material to put out 2.5 albums right now, and it's all as good as it's ever been. It's really good.
Is Matt Rice still in that band?
Yeah.
I used to work with him. I knew I still work at the place. I don't know where he works now, but I used to work with him back in the day, so
Yeah.
I know him from that.
the new album sounds really good.
Yeah.
The sneak peeks we heard.
Well, and then we're playing where at Shippensburg.
Yeah, we're playing at the what is it called? The Thought Lot. The Thought Lot.
Yeah.
I don't want to say a lot. Thought Lot in Ship.
We don't know
who's
what this
on that.
one is.
There's a Lancaster band on it.
Someone
Somebody
asked
asked
us
us
to
to
play.
put it on.
We're playing.
Yeah.
So getting back into you guys, whenever you start the writing process, how do you guys go about starting a song?
Oh, how to start
Like,
writing
how
the
does it
song, or how do
start?
we start it?
Anything. How do you?
Normally it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we start.
Yeah.
I kind of sometimes, if after band practice, Sean and I are still around, we'll just start noodling and just doing stuff. And I think that's how we came up with Meat to Eat. We were just jamming, and it just kind of came out to a cool riff, and then it just turned into
Or even
what it
really the last two songs kind of that way. I mean, this latest one, you kind of wrote the whole thing, and we're putting our everything to it. But the one right before this new one, we kind of were messing around at drums, etc. And
Which one, Sean?
I can't
Tell us
remember.
which
the-
No
one.
one remembers. Is it weird that we don't
I
remember
know.
the names of
I know.
It was
It's so
dead,
funny.
Dead giveaway.
Oh,
Dead
Dead
Giveaway.
Giveaway.
I know. Gosh, it escaped me just for a sec because it's kind of new. But that was just you and me kind of messing around with a beat and riff, and then all of a sudden it just turned into something. And it probably turned into like
Was
the
that
best songs.
was that in
we
my
have.
basement?
No, that was at the
was at drums.
rehearsal room at Drums Etc.
Yeah.
I actually was in one of the teaching studios. Remember, we went into the teaching room and we kind of
real
hashed it out
private,
there.
real
Yeah,
private.
real private. Just him and I.
Intimate moments.
Pull the curtain shut. Like no one's
You guys
allowed
never
in.
told me about that.
Yeah.
That's a cool
Oh, yeah.
room.
They don't talk
I used
about
to
it.
I've had a few jam sessions in there back in the day.
It's good. These guys love practicing there.
We really do because
And
we
I do too. I
practiced-
just don't like waking up early.
Did you get like a bro rate on the room since
Yeah.
you worked there? Well, that's
And by
even
early,
better.
he means getting there at 10 o'clock. Or
Yeah, that's
maybe
early
11.
for me, man.
We're
Some-
shooting for 1 p.m. now. I mean, that's what we're.
That's good.
Yeah.
One I can.
What,
do.
on Sundays?
Yeah, I'm just
Here,
not-
we're having band practice meetings.
That's
right
what
now.
we do.
Yeah.
We practice every Sunday. like
Most
1,
bands
2.
I've ever been in practice Sundays. But as far as the recording stuff, sometimes if it's like, all right, we want to dump an old song from the set. I mean, we only have 25 minutes. It's 9, 10 songs. Two and a half minute punk songs go kind of A B C B
Yeah.
goes real quick. But sometimes I'll just write a riff like this newest one that we're working on. I just kind of wanted to come up with something new so we can get rid of an old one. And
Yeah, so he'll write the music and then sort of a template, and then they'll record it and then send it to me.
by record it, it's the notes on my phone.
Yeah.
Hey, that's how I start.
The voice
everything.
memo, yeah.
It's so much easier than setting up a whole mic recording rig. It's just like set the phone on a stool, jam it out. These things are amazing at this point.
Yeah, we used to have a stereo recorder that we would use for practices,
Yeah.
and the phones sound better now.
Yeah.
It was like one of those Zoom stereo jobs. And
Yeah, I kind of just fiddle around with some verse, chorus, riff thing, and then record it, send it to the band, and then next band practice, I'll work with Sean to really kind of get it dialed in. And then once we have that, we record it again on the phone, and then that gets sent to Justin.
And then
he kind of, when he can, write some lyrics to it, and then hopefully the next practice, he shows up with a sheet. Not as confident as he should be, but he shows up.
As my, I look at it as a job, like anything. So we all, as much as we want to have a good time with this, there is an expectation, to not waste time. So, it's like Eric's aversion to cover songs, which I completely understand. But why waste any time learning, a cover song when we could be honing what we have or writing something new?
Yeah, just writing something new.
So I try to at least have, if nothing else, vowel sounds ready for just to give everybody an idea. And if nothing else, have sort of a theme, structured. But lately, I used to be hell-bent on just writing the whole thing like in 7 days, no matter what. And I feel like we have evolved and our sounds evolved, that taking our time a little bit has really lent itself to what I think is becoming like a Get in the Van sort of sound. Because the song you mentioned, Dead Giveaway, we have been screwing around with that thing. It's still the new song, but it's old in terms of when it was conceived. But it took a while for it to get to where it needed to be in order for us to be stoked on it. And we may even go a little bit farther with it, I think. It's because it's not recorded yet. So it's I don't know. I'm just really pumped where we're at with our relationship with each other and where the band is going.
Well, I know it's good when all of us, when we're all tearing our gear down, we're all humming that song. Like, it just has such a, like, you can't get it
Sticks
out
in
of your
your
head.
head,
So,
yeah.
Interesting side note. I was listening to a producer. He did like Aerosmith and a bunch of other shit. And he was talking, like what you were saying, he was talking about like Steven Tyler would just go into the booth and just start scatting and exactly how he scattered the delivery was how he wrote the chorus.
Oh, that's
Or
cool.
yeah, like that. And then a lot of their songs actually still contain a lot of.
That's like
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's,
David Lee Roth style.
oh yeah,
yeah.
both.
Well, I learned that from for it was maybe 4 months. Like hung out with Adam Barber and Sherwin, and
Yeah.
and that group of guys they're so dialed into one another. And Adam is so prolific writing. The guy could write an album a week. I mean, and the song lyrics and like the musicianship's unquestionable. But like that's what he would do. I mean, he'd get like a riff in his head, start playing it, and then everybody would just freaking come in on time, and the song was written, and then in an hour there's like a brand new Sherwin song. So try to take a little bit from that, learn a little bit from it, and apply it. Because I'm still kind of new at this. Eric's been playing music forever. All these guys have, really. I've been doing it for like 5 years, less than that. Combined, maybe 3.
I grew up with the guys from Brombones. They lived down the street, and they used to practice in the garage. And Casey, their original drummer, is who really kind of got me into, Government Issue, Dead Kennedys, Minor Threat, all that Token Entry. He loved Token. But so all that stuff is just kind of, my brother got
Captain
me into
Keach and the
metal.
Shrimp Shack Shooters.
Yeah. My brother got me into metal. Casey gets me into punk. And my first show, I think, was Mystery City. It was that Lancaster Poo Poo Platter 7-inch release show at the Chameleon. There were a bunch of bands. Brombones was on that. So,
Kind of on the same topic, like what were your influences when you threw this band together? Was it like
I'm ripping off like all of my favorite. I learned to preface it real quick. I learned how to play guitar just listening to Sam I Am, Sam I Am's I forget what that album's called, Clumsy. Descendants, everything Descendants, Misfits, Minor Threat, Gorilla Biscuits, Big Drill Car, all that stuff is kind of. I would borrow my brother's guitar when he wasn't home, and I would play those tapes or records, and he showed me a power chord, and I would just mock what they're doing, and that's kind of how I got Face to Face. That's how I got how to kind of construct songs. So now I just feel like that's all I bite is Face to Face, Descendants.
But I mean, in his defense, I do not hear. I hear less of that now in the stuff that he's writing. There was definitely like an off phase that you were sort of in, and that was more of like I don't want to say ripping it off, but you could be like, yeah, dude, that sounds like an off song. I really feel like we're getting into a point now where you're writing your own music, which is really cool.
Sounding like off is also just sounding like Old Black Flag.
Yeah,
and it's basically just all the stuff we grew like a little bit from everyone. 80s.
I like to think I take a mix of the popular side of Face to Face and the aggression, the aggression from hardcore. I came up in the '90s hardcore scene too, so I was in a straight edge hardcore band called 24 Solution. So we came up listening to like Earth Crisis, Snapcase, Strife, all those bands. But even '88 style hardcore,
Well, even for the music that he writes, that is. I feel like hard and aggressive. He has been able to write these sweet little like melodic ditties too, which I think that should be at some point written and recorded because it is very Descendancy.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty rad.
I forget what that song's called.
Well, we rewrote that. We made it. You had the melodic, like pretty little ditty, and turned it into like.
Oh yeah. But what's the one we still do that we just changed the vocal part of it?
I'm trying to think of that one.
Remember?
Places left for us to go.
No, not far
between.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, we totally changed. That one almost sounds like an old.
That did
an
sound
old
like a
hardcore
Descendants song. Now it doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Walk Away?
You Walk Away. Yeah.
That was such a simple change. But it made it so much better.
But that's one. Yeah, that vocal change. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
It's funny when we go back to an old song and just be like, none of us like this one part in this song. So all we did was just double time the vocals and it sounded completely
That's kind of
different.
what we're trying to get away from by actually working on the songs over long periods of time rather than just figuring them out, playing them, and just
locking it in as that's how the song is.
Now we've been kind of evolving them.
And to not give up on it, like to go back to a song that was, one that we wrote in a line and that there were certain elements of it that we liked, and then just completely strip it down and then kind of bring it back to life.
We don't have far between recorded, the new version recorded, right?
No.
I mean, it just that song, I couldn't believe how good that.
We've got
came out after
enough
changing
stuff for a new 5-song EP
Yeah.
of stuff that wasn't.
And that's kind of the
recorded.
goal too. Instead of putting out like a full record, what we want to do is just like once a year, maybe twice a year, just get in there and just push out whatever we're working on.
Maybe we'll come in here, bang out another demo. or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Well, in this day and age, if you think about it, a lot of people aren't buying like 12-song albums anyway.
Yeah.
And it's easier to keep people's attention if you're throwing EPs out.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Skrillex. It's a completely different genre, but
Yeah.
how long did he go putting EPs out? Years, and I mean, it can work in this day and age.
Well, it's like what did Tim Armstrong do? Tim Timebomb, like last year, 2 years ago. It's like it was like a zillion different singles for $1.
I think it's great.
He wrote a song a day.
No, it was insane,
Wasn't it?
It was insane.
He did a song a day.
And of course I'm going to buy them. I mean, I'm going to because I mean, like his version of whatever Brown Eyed Girl is worth $1.
He came out with that reggae album a couple years ago.
Yeah, that's not very good.
Yeah, it wasn't. Well,
Oh yeah, we were listening to Faction on the way over here. So
I listened to that.
show,
Yeah, the Tim Time Bomber
Yeah.
Friends. And we're talking about recording the new Rancid album. I was listening to that too.
So, what are your goals as a band? Like, because every band obviously has different aspirations, and
My goal is to maybe get into like a Thrasher movie. Like skateboarding? No, just like
a revised Thrasher. Like,
no, just like Thrasher magazine puts like little clips out
skate video.
online.
Yeah.
Like
No,
if we,
I got you.
Not the movie Thrasher.
yeah,
Yeah, I was like, are they remaking it? I didn't hear about
if we
that.
could get into like some sort of, even if it was just like a 3-minute part, a good part, not some lame part. I don't want to be misrepresented.
We'll get Donovan.
It's just vert skating. You're like, ah.
What if
Rodney Mullen.
I mean, no
Freestyle.
bite off of vert skaters, but
what if we remake Gleaming the Cube, and we throw one of your songs?
the real
in
aggro
it?
scene when he finds out his brother's dead?
Yeah, with one brother's
Not
justice.
not to ruin the movie for anyone that hasn't seen
Yeah.
it.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, exactly.
but that would
His half Asian brother died.
yeah, like realistically, I mean, like that could be something for me that would be a milestone. I mean, like what I don't know. We talk about that. Maybe like a 3-day tour. I mean, if we
I don't
could,
have a goal. it's just fun to play music with your
Yeah.
friends,
But that's
play
that's
some
great.
shows,
I mean,
record some stuff.
My goal is once a month. Once
what
a
is it?
month shows. That
What's your goal?
It took me a second. Once a month, play a show.
Yeah.
That's why I like to be in this band. I like writing fun music that I would like to hear, and just playing for people and watching people get stoked on it.
yeah, and
It's
if we
fun.
can get connected with like bands that come down to the bar and play, there's two. The Challenge played. They're freaking awesome. They're from New York. They're super cool guys, and I said to them, like, could we like sort of create a trade route here? I mean, can I come up there with my band and because of venues, and they're like, yeah, dude. And so if we could get invited to go up and play or open for a band in like a bigger city, like we played in Staten Island, and that was fun. I mean, just the experience of taking your little sort of package of creativity, your music, and trying to open it up for somebody in another other than Lancaster, because it's kind of a dead end here. I mean, we try not to. We could play the bar every Saturday if we wanted to, but we.
And for those of you that have never been to a bag show, I highly recommend that you go. And if you're in a punk band or a band and you want to play at the bag, you're going to be playing for people. That place packs.
I'm proud to say that we call Justin's home our home.
Yeah, thanks, man.
It's a great venue.
American Bar and Grill, by the way.
Yes,
It's the bag
Yeah.
for sure.
Justin set out to make it a destination for punk bands, and getting Nightbirds there a couple times. Justin brings in some solid bands.
the Falcon,
the Falcon.
Mike Yerg.
People get paid. As of however many years you've done it, there's never been a cover.
Yeah,
he
shows
just
are
wants
free.
it to be a cool punk rock spot. So even when there aren't shows, Justin Brulette, there's always punk music being played. It's always a good time.
Yeah, there's all the great pictures on the walls of like old punk band, like
Yeah.
the Clash is on the wall, and they got all the old skateboard decks and stuff. That's all cool.
Yeah.
Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday, pork sliders Wednesday.
Mike's got to learn all this because he's coming.
Wings.
coming back.
I
Every
like
day.
the empanadas.
Every
too.
day
Those
wing
are really
special
good.
with a
thanks.
beverage purchase.
Hey, plug away. This is your time. If you want to plug the bag menu, pull it out. We'll whip it out.
I'm a fan of the veggie quesadilla.
Delicious.
Sounds delicious.
Yes. It's scrumptious.
Okay, so how do you guys promote your band? Like with the internet, everything's crazy. Do you flyer it up, or do you still?
That's why we're here, Gary.
Yeah.
We come on podcasts.
Mike, you do that.
Yeah.
You're on podcasts like every other day, I'm assuming. But,
We don't really.
in 2017, things are a hell of a lot different than they were
Yeah.
when I started playing. Where
Yeah.
you had to do the footwork, get out, go to the mall, flyer the place up.
Yeah.
It
Well,
was
it's
a
like
lot different.
People for tickets.
It's like the opposite. It's so saturated, and music flips so fast now. I mean, like a band could emerge that's really good and strike a chord with somebody, but that person, like when we were younger, we would buy an album and listen to it, the cassette, like 50 times a day, and forced to basically listen to the whole thing because you couldn't jump through tracks. So you became intimately involved in the music. Now you don't have the luxury, and it really bothers me because I love music and I love to know what I'm listening to and who's involved in it. But it's everywhere, and it's constantly evolving and turning, and the proverbial sort of like backhoe money making. They dig in and then like unearth all of this great stuff and throw it out there, which is great for the artist, but there's no longevity. I mean, for a band to really thrive, to make a living being a band, and then like keep moving forward. It's I think a real stretch anymore, and
I think you got those success stories like August Burns Red, who just
for Lancaster, I mean that would be a whole
destroys.
great thing to talk about.
yeah.
Is all the great
Yeah.
bands that came out of here, and
yeah,
like that would
for sure.
those guys.
I mean, hell, then you got like Carson and Galactic Empire.
Yeah,
They just did a
Yeah.
16-day, 16-show tour in the UK
yeah.
in Star Wars costumes.
Those guys had no idea that was gonna, just
Yeah.
a little pet project between Grant
I remember
and
when
That's awesome.
Grant started the drum cover for it and everything back in the
Yeah.
day, and it just evolved, and it was like, holy shit.
yeah.
And
Yeah, I
it's
remember-
awesome that Carson got to go, too, because
Yeah, he
they
wasn't
were on the fence.
Yeah, he wasn't gonna go for a while, and then
Yeah, we heard the pre-pro tracks for that like 2 years ago or something,
Whenever
like
they
forever
first
ago.
started it.
we listened to it on the way to go see Failure and Nothing in Philly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we were at that show.
same
Oh
show,
yeah, we saw you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when we first heard it
Yeah.
in the car, and was super pumped, and I got choked out in that first
Did
viral
ya?
video. Yeah, I was the
Oh,
guy
yeah,
that
yeah,
didn't.
yeah. No, I thought you meant at the show.
Oh,
I was like,
no.
it was pretty chill.
Yeah.
It was like shoegaze, man. Like, everybody...
Oh, at the
I'm
the
like, you got
Failure
choked
show.
out at the Failure show? It must have been during Hum, because
Exactly.
that was the heaviest part of the show. It was
was-
Stars came on, that heavy riff part,
Yeah.
they must have choked you right
Yeah.
there.
Oh, it got me.
Can't take care of it. He's a problem everywhere.
Yeah.
Just choked out,
Yeah.
falling.
Passed out.
Either that or he unleashes his kung fu on everyone, and we have to clean up the mess. We bring a bunch of sponges and bleach to clean up the blood.
Not you that last show.
At
That
least
was,
you're
that was all
prepared.
you. That got written up in the.
But he was the one that was
Yeah.
mentioned, not me.
Speaking of crazy shit, what's the
Allegedly.
craziest thing that ever happened to you when you were at a show or on tour? Do you have any good stories? Or
Oh my god.
The stories. No, it was probably
Anything you can
probably
tell.
the last one. Like where things.
wildlife?
Well, just
Yeah.
us
Yeah.
in general. There's that drunk dude who's trying to get to Rowdy, and then Justin talks to him. while we're
Yeah,
playing. I just smile.
you just the last show, the wildlife show, dude was just a little overly enthusiastic and a little too drunk, which is fine.
Which you like if it's not your bar.
Right. And
Or it's not your band
Yeah.
trying to have
Well,
fun.
It's not a problem until
Yeah.
the dude just like slams into you, and then at that point I kind of take it a little bit more personally.
During your set?
Well,
yeah.
He
Oh, I
hit,
didn't know that.
he hit Justin, and then pretty much everyone else in the crowd. Just
He didn't hit. I mean, he freaking just kind of rolled into me, But it was enough that it started a little tension there. It was the last song, thank God, and it was over in 20 seconds, and the dude was removed, and he lost his
very calmly
glasses
removed.
and his knife.
Did he
and
come back for his knife the
He
next
did.
day?
He came back.
His
for
girlfriend
that.
couldn't figure out why we wouldn't give it back to him that night.
I should have just melted it down for what was on it.
Put it in a little frame and just hang it on
Yeah.
the wall.
What was on it?
A swastika.
Oh, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's I
Yeah.
know that.
Asshole.
Yeah, I mean,
What a dick.
so when his girlfriend came in for it, she's like, "Do you have my boyfriend's knife?" And I just like flashed that side of it, and she just like looked down. I mean, like it's like the power of that, the evil message behind that, and she's just
Of
like,
course that drunk
nods. Of course she came in to get it
douchebag
too.
would have
His lady come in to get his swastika switchblade.
Yeah, that's nuts, dude.
No, I mean like I couldn't believe it that they would even. I don't know.
You should have kept it. You should have just chucked it based
So I
on
meld it.
principle.
You don't even,
Yeah.
dude. It's like you meld out all
You
that.
don't want it out there.
All
you
of
don't
it
want it in
should be,
circulation.
all
I
that
get
stuff
that.
should be destroyed.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, then Mike took care of him, took care of that dude, and then
Not this Mike. Door guy Mike.
I yelled at him.
yeah.
And then
Mike gave him a stern. Mike gave him a stern talking.
I gave him
to.
a talking to.
He's
told,
the sternest
Told him
out
nobody
of-
liked him.
Yeah.
Out of all of us, nobody likes you.
And then when he was, I think he wanted to hit me, but Mike
No
just
one's
kind of
impressed,
grabbed him and
douche.
carried him out.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, shows that we didn't play. It's shows in the '90s in Reading.
I mean,
We're
I
kind of hairy.
yeah, just even shows
Philly.
or City Garden, man.
Yeah.
Like City Garden was
Or
insane.
you go to Stalag in Philly when that squatter venue was still there. I saw Converge, Cave In. The Swarm was supposed to play, but they didn't show. And there's this guy looked like he had he just had skin falling off of him out front.
Wow.
Yeah,
That sounds crazy.
Philly shows were probably the gnarliest.
Yeah, I've been to mostly metal shows like in Philly or
Yeah.
Like-
So, do you guys know what Stalag was?
no.
It was this old warehouse in I'm gonna feel like an asshole. I think it was West Philly.
Yeah, it was on Lancaster.
Okay.
Lancaster Avenue in West Philly.
And yeah, it was a
Born and
DIY
raised.
venue, and dudes lived there, but it was just a big warehouse, and yeah, it was not in the great part of Philly.
But that was like the Boyles, Violent Society, Anti-Flag.
Everybody
like,
goes through there. Yeah,
any band or I guess very, very late 80s, early 90s played there. That was like the venue in Philly.
that's where I saw the weirdest shit go down.
I can imagine.
Ours are pretty subdued.
I went to just the boiler.
30 people seeing us play don't really get too rowdy.
I like go to like the Electric Factory, Tower Theater, just like basic.
Yeah.
I haven't been to a lot of the crazy smaller venues.
We used to hit up like the fire hall shows back in the day, like
Yeah, Bearville.
Bearville
Yeah,
and all
Bearville.
that stuff.
Bouncing
Like,
Souls would come
bands
through
with
there
like
all the time.
Scourge and stuff played around here.
I think, I don't want to say it on radio. AC, I think might have played there. I don't want to say anal cunt.
Oh,
You can
Oh,
say
you
that.
can say anything you want.
This
on
isn't
here.
radio. It's a
Sorry.
podcast.
Well, I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah,
you know.
literally, fucking say anything you want on here. It doesn't matter. That's the beauty of the podcast. Is
Yeah.
it's
yeah,
completely.
we might as well earn our explicit rating because
Oh,
we're going
sure.
to have it.
Can you download this on iTunes?
Not well when it's up.
Oh,
Like,
you don't guys have it. You guys don't have it.
I
out
haven't
yet.
went live with anything
Okay,
yet.
you've just been collecting it.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
just
cool,
gathering
cool, cool, cool.
content.
Cool, cool,
so
cool.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. We'll talk more about that after the podcast,
Cool.
so we won't bore everyone
No,
with
very cool.
those details. But it'll be coming soon.
Awesome.
We're just trying to get 10 episodes in the bank.
How many?
so-
What number are we?
Seven, six,
Oh,
seven,
okay.
seven. Yeah, seven.
Cool.
I don't even know what's going on. So, how do you feel about the current climate with like downloading music and Spotify and compared to back when everybody just pressed CDs and
I think we look at
vinyl?
it differently because we're not making money off of it. Like we're just trying to afford our recordings.
Yes. So in that sense, I you can't. That's where the music is going. So you don't fight it. Just go with it. Like okay, we can sink a lot of money into a CD, but it wouldn't be, it's realistic. It's just easier to go here's our album. You can have it. We spent X amount of time on it. Enjoy. Come see us play.
Touching on what Justin was saying earlier, I liked if you liked something, you had to buy the record. Like if there was a band I liked, I'd have to go to the show, buy the 7-inch,
Yeah,
and then I would just listen to it over and over and over.
I do miss those days though.
which was great.
But now,
I miss liner notes.
I miss just sitting there reading everything.
Well,
Yeah.
you'd learn about so many other bands in liner notes.
In the
like
thank yous.
If you read through like back in the day a No Effects cassette, sorry to interrupt you, or like a Face to Face cassette, and then you hear about all these other bands because you couldn't cross reference it on a computer. You had to like write it down, and then you'd go out to
FYE or
wherever you could find it.
Coconuts.
Camelot.
we go to
Yes,
Web of Sound.
Yeah,
or,
and see if they have it, and you'd order everything custom for yourself, and I like that process. I mean, I'm a little, I don't like the fact, I like that music's available. All styles of music now are readily accessible to basically everyone. Selfishly speaking, however, I took a lot of pride, digging it out for myself, and I loved my little like sacred collection of music, and I didn't want like fucking Bob listening to it because my music's rad and Bob's not rad, and if Bob listens to it, he's going to listen. It was sort of like the great like unearthing of Nirvana, and dude, my heart broke. Like I didn't know that it was happening, but it was like this, skateboarding, like snowboarding and punk rock were where like you had to choose to become that. You made a conscious choice to listen to punk rock music, to skateboard, and to whatever you're into, whatever subcultural kind of, whether you're into goth, you know. Remember all those goths that hung out at Park City?
Oh yeah.
You know, I always respected that. I never got it, but I thought, wow, dude, that's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, and now it's just everything is just available, you know, and identity, everything's so homogenized now. It's just like who everybody is, you know, this big amorphous like slurry of everything. And I liked. I'm an open-minded dude, but I did like. You know, there was sort of divisions, and you know, if you were like a skate punk, that's what you were, and like you couldn't get in unless you did your homework and like paid your dues.
I remember in the early 2000s, I would pick albums just based off of a producer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I looked at the back of an album, I'm like,
That's
this
super nerdy, dude.
Oh yeah, I'm like, I love this. Like if Ross Robinson produced it, I would just buy it because I knew it was probably going to be good.
Well, it's rad that you're doing this now. Then you know you're
Yeah.
kind of like doing it for yourself, and that's pretty killer.
Yeah, like I said, this has been a ton of fun so far doing it, and I'm enjoying it. Everybody that's been on's had a blast, and I mean it's win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
I get content, you get your name out, people hear your band. It's a winning formula. Just see how it all goes once it launches.
I mean, I
Very
dig
excited.
As far as your original question, I dig like Spotify. You know, I'll have a face-to-face radio or a Sam I Am station. I hear all kinds of new stuff that I've never heard that come in on that station. Then I like it, and then I find more about it. And if I like it, I go and buy. I'll download it on iTunes. I mean, up until a couple of years ago, I used to have Mikey at Mr. Suit order me albums that were coming out on CD. Just because I wanted the actual CD. Now I just do it all, on iTunes. But, Spotify helps me find cool new music that I didn't necessarily know about.
See, I like that it's easier to find new stuff, but it's almost too easy.
Yeah.
So you don't appreciate it when you have it.
And you forget about it.
And it comes so fast.
Flash in the pan,
It's kind of disposable. Whereas when you went and bought your record, you kept it and you had it. When it's digital, to me, the connection isn't the same.
And I feel like there's kids nowadays that don't even understand the concept of paying for music.
Yeah.
Because they can just go on YouTube and
devalued.
listen to the album. As long as their dad is full, they don't need to pay for a thing.
Right. Same thing as he said
a
with
billboard.
the liner notes. Most of the bands I grew up listening to made their own records.
Yeah.
So that's them writing in the liner notes.
All right, now I want to make an actual record.
So there's no...
Shit.
We talked about that. We almost did it, but
it's
when you're a
too
part-time
expensive.
band, not like making a bunch of money back or
someone
able to
wants to
like
put
tour
out
on this
our
little
record.
7-inch. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Damn
were.
Do a
Vinyl's
vinyl release,
cool.
yeah.
That's what we wanted to do with 7-inch, but it just doesn't really make sense for
Mikey,
us. For what
you
we
were
do.
looking up the numbers. It was
expensive.
it was
Prohibitively
yeah.
expensive.
Well, yeah, we came to the conclusion that we not only needed to do a split, but we should also be on a record label so that the cost could be subsidized by, another
Split's
party.
probably the best way.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're game. I mean, if we came up with, a super rad songs.
We should do a Lancaster 4-song
Yeah.
7-inch
Yeah.
of 4, songs from 4 different bands and see who's interested.
Talk
in
to
in
Tiger
putting it out.
Hawk.
Yeah, totally.
That's not a bad idea. Like I said, I'll have Maddie in here next week.
Yeah,
with
he came
Fate,
to us and
so-
talked about putting out this EP, but I don't know, it just wasn't much to really put. We were just like, we're just going to put it out on the, we quick rushed the recording. Just, we didn't rush the recording, but it's not like we put that extra bit where it's like, okay, if people are paying for
Yeah,
it. Or
this
if
is it.
Yeah, it's just
This
like, dude,
is
we
the
need
one.
something recorded and we want a demo. So
Yeah.
we kind of talked to him and said, maybe the next one.
We recorded it, priced out records, and then we just kind of figured we can sit on this and wait, or we can just put it on Bandcamp. People can have it for free.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong
So I'd
with
rather
getting
just
the stuff
put it out there.
Yeah.
Or you can name your own price. But if you're cheap and you just want it, please just put in 0 and
Yeah,
just
just
have
take it.
Yeah.
But you really wonder, like, what the payday is, like for these guys. Even, call them like minor league punk bands like that. I would get coming in the A bag, like definitely recognized. But I'm not paying them. The most I paid was like the Falcon show, and that was like $2,000. Where I lost a lot of money. I mean,
Yeah.
I lost a lot of money.
Well, look at your shirt.
Yeah.
What you're wearing right now is the only thing that they're getting paid with.
Well, and like
Exactly.
here,
Merch and tours.
and
yeah.
dude, those guys are a talented group of dudes. They write awesome music. It's an all-star lineup. and like
It's like Supergroup Asia.
it is, and they're not getting any. Like they're not getting rich. I mean, they're getting by. But for your iTunes and spending 99 cents a song, and iTunes takes what 50 cents.
I don't even know. We put so little effort into finding that out. We don't.
I'm
even
pretty
know.
sure you get like around 60 to 70 cents of it, and they get like 30ish.
That money might not even come to you. That could be coming directly to the label, depending
Actually,
on what kind of deal you have.
Has our
with our
has our
bands, we always
song-
just put them out ourselves. We
Yeah.
just, we Gary and I would basically just wind up financing the albums most of the time when we did ours.
Yeah.
Now we don't have to pay anyone.
yeah.
True.
What were we gonna say, Sean?
Cut out the middleman.
Yeah.
Well, I was just curious. Since our EP kind of has been out there, you don't have to say a number, but does anyone know if we made any?
I think we made
people
like
actually-
$20
Oh,
on it.
$20.
Yeah.
I think about
Excellent. Hey, I'm happy with that.
$49.
Good. Okay, so you're the treasurer, right?
It's a number.
It's connected to my PayPal.
Okay.
I'm the treasurer. I have the cash in an envelope in my desk drawer.
I transferred those funds to
So
Eric
that's
at a bad
definitely
practice.
a number.
All right, okay, $50.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's a
Yeah,
number.
not bad.
That's a number.
Another 450 and the recordings
Does
are paid
it tell
for.
you? Does it tell you how many people have downloaded it though, even for free?
I could check the
You should
Bandcamp
be able to
I'd like to
get
hear
stats.
that.
analytics
That'd
on
be
that.
interesting.
Yeah, and it'll tell us
Very
like
interesting radio.
who's listened to it, who's bought it. Yeah. Oh, we don't have to do that now.
Yeah, don't do it now.
No.
That could either make me real happy or real sad.
So if you could go back, like,
but
when-
that's the
okay.
thing. I mean, we
wanna take that risk.
we're not. We put as much effort as we all love.
That's right.
Playing this band,
That's true.
and we have X amount of time.
Yeah, I
when
think-
you've got kids, when you've got work, when you've got your own business. Justin and I both own our own businesses. It's that thing where people who say, "Oh, I don't have enough time to do it." It's not I don't have enough. You have X amount. You're just choosing other things of more importance, and that's your own prerogative to give more to a different thing. But everyone has time to do it. I just choose to put this higher than other projects.
Sean and I don't own our own businesses.
Piggybacking on what
Hey.
you said, that was like I heard this interview with Mike Patton once, and he's in like 10 fucking bands or something.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, how do you make time for all of these projects? And he's like, how do you make time for your 3 kids? You
Yeah.
just make time for it.
Yeah.
You have to take the time to spend time with each 3 of your children and make it special.
Oh, that
and
sounds like a nightmare.
Be sincere about it.
I only
Yeah.
have 2 kids.
3.
Not-
You
9
can't have them out.
bands.
You can't. Yeah, you can't have them
That sounds like
outnumber
a
you.
nightmare to me.
Yeah.
All right, so if you could go back 5 years ago, whenever you first started this band, what advice would you give yourself, knowing what you know now?
My advice would be to, the goal originally was just hanging out with your buddies playing punk rock, and then
Goal
it
achieved.
evolved into something that was not that, and that and the riff, like not being able to, because we didn't like each other for a couple years.
For a while.
Yeah, I mean, we were like
still don't,
definitely
really.
at odds, and so that's a way. Like it's definitely a life journey, and like you learn a lot from it. But when you think about the choices that you make and why you're making them, and that would have been back when the line was starting to fracture and split. And then look at the wreckage and like that's left from it. We were all friends going in, and then we were not friends going out, and we could have been friends all the while, and like lessened the tension and animosity that exists. Like life's hard enough, and then when you're hanging out with a good group of dudes, why fuck it up? And the fact that we're back together now is
Yeah,
like
the
pretty
point of
rad.
the band was to hang out with your friends and play music.
Yeah.
And then because of hanging out with your friends and playing music, now we're not friends anymore.
Yeah.
Or
These
playing
things
music.
happen.
So-
Rob and I hate each other, so not really, but
So that's the advice then. Just don't lose focus of
And-
what it
and-
was supposed to be to begin
and
with, and
whatever
everything
you're-
else will come in.
Yeah, have
Everything
a
else will fall
realistic
into place.
expectation and then stick to it. I mean, like I feel like what we've gotten out of this so far is exactly what we've put in. To your point, I don't feel dissatisfied. I feel like sometimes we could be, have a larger body of work, but I feel like the time that we put in is always, put in a very constructive way. So, yeah. This is the first time that all of us sat down and had to talk about us. I mean, we've never really discussed.
Yeah, we don't talk
us.
really at all.
So it's kind of cool seeing what comes out of everybody's
Yeah.
mouth.
it's a thing where I like to do a lot of things, and I stretch myself really kind of thin sometimes. I love playing music, and I love performing music at shows even more. I kind of put my commitment to the band. There's other guys in this band. You know, there's other schedules to consider, and just trying to get 4 dudes who are, you know, in their 30s and up. It's tough to kind of get everyone places at the same time, and I think that kind of ended up being problems, you know, before kind of generating animosity. But we all have our own things going on. This is like a rec basketball league. It's kind of how I can
Like a kickball league.
Yeah, it's you know, the 40 and over soccer team where it's like, yeah, I'm part of a team with these guys, and hey guys, we're playing the Hempfield Wildcats, you know, Sunday night. So it's you know, not everyone can make practice, or not everyone can do some. We do this for fun, and when we start putting too much emphasis on, you know, being sticklers about shit, then it just
normally like right
less
after
fun.
a show, we'll be all pumped up to go do more,
Yeah.
and then we kind of come back to reality after a week or two.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh shoot, I got photo shoot scheduled.
Then
I
we
can't.
cancel a bunch of practices. And,
Trust me, we have a 3-piece for this exact reason. So it's
well, we've thought about, like Justin and I, when we were first starting to do this, we thought about another guitar player. We had a bunch of ideas, and that's just another person that can't make
Less is
practice.
more.
Yes.
Really.
less is definitely more
Yeah.
these days. Well, I mean, thanks for coming on. I guess we can kind of wrap it up here soon.
I could
our
keep
pleasure.
I could
Yeah.
keep gabbing about this shit forever.
Yeah,
Just
so
talk
I
more
hear you.
punk.
I know we got about a half hour till you got to be going.
Yeah.
So I figure if we're gonna try this, we should probably do it.
Cool.
You guys gonna try to do this unplug thing?
Yeah,
Or
let's
see what happens?
let's give it a go.
Yeah, let's try it.
We'll fuck around.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks for coming on, man. It was a blast.
It's our
and
pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for
It
having
was the
us.
most sober episode I've had yet.
Sundays at 2. It's a little. You've got a real problem when you're.
We'll
when
do
you're
a
drinking.
drunk one in the
that's
future.
What, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely come back. But I was just laughing about that. I told him earlier. I'm like, I know if you want to bring beer, just bring it. But you know, I know it's
The-
2:00.
The drunk
Not that
one.
that stops people.
Yeah.
The
I've
drunk
worked at
one, you
5.
wouldn't even need
I had
to.
one earlier already.
Oh
Shit.
my.
Living on
One.
the edge, Sean.
Yeah. And I slept in.
It looks like it.
After this, I'm going to the school and gonna do some heavy bag work if anyone wants to box.
All right. Well, there's episode 6 of the D.A.M.N podcast. Thank you all so much for listening, subscribing, liking the Facebook page, following us on all the social media platforms. You've all been amazing. The support has been great, and we're just so happy that we could contribute to your life. All the bands have been amazing. They've been helping out, sharing the podcast, sharing everything. Please subscribe to the podcast if you like what we're doing. Ask some friends to check it out. If you know of any bands that you think would be good for the podcast, tell them to hit me up. I'm easy to get a hold of. I'm an email or a text away. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and end this podcast with the song Dead Giveaway. It's an unplugged version of a song that's never been recorded yet, but you guys will dig the shit out of it. Plus, you get to hear some unreleased stuff. This is brand new, hasn't even been recorded in an actual studio yet, other than this studio here. So we're super stoked to bring you that. And there's also going to be a Get in the Van song called Neon Signs on right after it. Thank you so much for being with us, and we'll see you next time for episode 7.
Want your white noise, want your tabloid, anything you say. Don't give away. Don't want your white noise, want your tabloid, anything you're selling, baby. Don't give away. Years have passed, the hourglass crashed, it's over. Waste my time, trim my mind over. Conscience is a killer when the world's about to splinter, better get away. Your rats are in my cellar, hungry for my pleasure after, better get away. You're a dead giveaway. Should have seen it coming, the walls had all the riding, the flags were red and fly. You would take him away. Never listen cause you're hissing the truth. Forever missing other boys and fucking kissing. You would take him away. Should have seen it coming, the walls had all the riding, the flags were red and fly. You would take him away. Never listen cause you're hissing the truth. Forever missing other boys and fucking kissing. You would take him away. Years have passed, the hourglass crashed, it's over. Waste my time, trip my mind over. Conscience is a killer when the world's about to splinter, better get away. You're resting in my cellar, hungry for my flesh, or out the better run away. You're dead, get away. I better run away. Should have seen it coming, the walls had all the riding, the flags were red and flag. You're taking away. You never listen cause you're hissing the truth. Forever missing all the boys and fucking kissing. You're taking away.